What's a better cross training for pickleball, ping pong or tennis? What are your thoughts there, Magoo?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. I don't think it's one or the other. Some of the hand speed that you get from ping pong and just like the general distance, how it's closer, and really understanding how to use like the roll on both sides definitely helps like with the roll volley and the hand speed. Where tennis, I think some of the ground strokes and some of the technique and the little drop shot volley in tennis is kind of similar to hitting like a drop in pickle. Some of the movement stuff, getting good with or getting comfortable or getting efficient with like moving laterally is similar to pickle.
Yeah, I think singles definitely want to be playing tennis, but then I think the up at the kitchen, like you just said, I think the ping pong.
Similar to ping pong.
I think it'll definitely help you figure that out, just because they're both plastic balls and like I don't know. I think they're kind of more related in that sense, but both of them help. Do all three.
What's going on? My name is Tyson McGuffin. Welcome to the McGuffin Show. We are back from San Clemente. Always a beautiful tournament. Great town, good food, beach vibe. Kids had a good time. Actually, the first time this year we took all 4 kids with us. So controlled chaos. You know what I mean? Took our nanny, whose name is Elizabeth. She's a total princess and.
It was perfect.
She's perfect. She's perfect. So
you guys might see her in Kansas City. That might be her next.
Anytime
trip.
we have 4, we definitely need some help. So thank you, Elizabeth. But let's see. Mom and I went to a festival. We got San Clemente. Declan and I cruising 6 medals in a row for men's dubs. Even though 2 of those were defaults to the Johns boys, we will gladly take it. All I know is bronze right now, if you know what I mean. Let's see. We went to Disney. Had a fun little day yesterday, 4th of July. Yep. Played a little golf and had a little powwow at the house last night. Cooked some food.
S'mores.
First time using Daddy's new Father's Day barbecue. Tore that up.
We need all the tips though. Like this is our first time having a pellet grill, and so we haven't quite figured out. We need to get like how to get it really hot so we can sear the steaks properly. Right. My smash burgers didn't turn out.
I thought it was good.
Okay,
right.
you
took care of me. Yeah.
Were the burgers okay though? I tried to make smash burger on the Blackstone grill, and I couldn't get it crispy enough. So tips and tricks. Please leave them in the comments.
Tips and tricks. Let's see. Came out with a couple vlogs as well. But yeah, first and foremost, Mom and I went to a little festival at the Gorge called Beyond Wonderland. Great time. Good to spend some time together. We stayed at Sage Cliff Resort and Spa there. Mm-hmm.
Super tip, right? Tip for the viewers.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time. Yeah, for sure. If you're going to the Gorge and you don't want to hang out with all the peasants, I'm just kidding. If you want to do some higher end camping and have your own private access into the Gorge and not have to.
If you want to feel like an adult,
right.
Glamping.
Stay at Sage Cliff. They have yurts. They have tiny homes. The price definitely goes up during events at the.
And there's 4 pickleball courts and 2 tennis courts.
Yeah.
And when you check in, it was pretty funny. Tyson's so humble.
I don't ever say anything.
You never say anything.
They're like, yeah, you can rent the paddles. We got these new courts. Do you want balls? And I'm like, okay, great.
Perfect.
Yeah. Back in the day, I was like, yeah, I actually play professional pickleball, and now I could really give 2 shits. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna.
Don't make the announcement.
I'm not gonna try to be the hero and be like, yeah, I'm top 5 on the PPA tour. You should let me teach a camp here, okay? Matter of fact, let me sell Gen 3s here. Just kidding.
No, but you guys should let us know if there's enough
cash only. For the
right. I accept cash.
Oh, stop. But if you viewers should let us know if they'd be interested. The Gorge is gorgeous, and pun intended. But no, it's great, and we could host a little private camp there. Like we could do a little destination camp. We could even line the tennis courts. We might be able to fit
pickle
8.
Music.
Yeah.
Pool party.
Yep.
Clothing optional.
Gorgeous view.
Call it a day.
Wine every day.
Right.
I mean, sounds like a plan to me.
Lots of rain.
Yeah.
And some Millers.
Yeah.
Miller Lite. Yeah. Sponsored by Miller and sponsored by Drink Brainstorm. But yeah, we did a little 2-day festival. Shaq. DJ Diesel played on Sunday, but my agent told me that I couldn't stay on Sunday.
Dang.
So I had to go home early. Dang, and I was crying the whole way home. Mom and I ended up that night. We flew out Sunday night, went to the festival Friday through Sunday, had some friends there. Mm-hmm. Nice hot weekend there in Central Washington. And then we flew out Sunday night, went to San Clemente. The first day there in San Clemente, Did a little content shoot for Drink Rain Storm, and they have some new flavors out. Off to my right over here, some of the new flavors. I'm actually drinking a citrus zest right now. It tastes
not a Valencia orange. This is big for you.
What?
This takes.
I didn't have any orange in the fridge, so if I don't have orange in the
no.
fridge, I will. This is like my plan B.
You know what's funny? We're running really low right now, so I'm actually drinking a kiwi.
Oh no!
I know.
I
know. Not.
They're all good flavors.
No,
okay?
they are.
We just personally like the orange. Okay? We're a bunch of orange machines over here.
I'll drink like 2 a day. It's kind of bad, but I don't feel bad. And I could never drink an energy drink before this, so it's a win.
Accelerates metabolism, clean energy, plant-based energy. It's vegan, and 200 milligrams of caffeine. I can only do 1 a day.
My biggest thing I've realized, I can drink it on an empty stomach. I feel like back in the day,
it's light on your stomach, and it's a nice performance drink. I usually drink like half in the morning, and then usually half like around noon. And I feel like that's my caffeine for the day.
And again, I think we've talked about this before, but it's one of the only drinks you see like pro players actually like sipping on the sideline. Like I feel like you don't see energy drinks very often.
No.
But it's cool that
you do at the facilities. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. A lot of people taking down the rain. Like, oh,
right.
And then they're gonna go play next.
Yeah.
Right. So
there you go.
Nothing wrong with a little caffeine. Right?
Get you going. Ask James.
Caffeine and nicotine equals
protein.
We all know it. We all know it, right? Mix the two.
James,
get yourself a Zen, right? Put a little Zenny in, right? Slap down a Drink Brainstorm.
10 minutes before match time.
There's 50 grams of protein right there.
Oh man,
healthy.
Right. Very healthy. Okay. Content shoot, crushed it, tore it up, came, conquered, delivered. Great time. Thank you, Drink Brainstorm.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a cool,
sick house too.
Crazy house. The house was on
26
acres.
26 acres. Couple
in
PB courts.
Oops, sorry. 26 acres in where is it? Tustin?
I don't know.
And the house was massive. It had like
15 bedrooms, 26 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Why 26
Isn't that
bathrooms?
crazy? And originally, I guess the original owner
a lot of number
bought
twos,
it,
right? Jeez.
bought it to build a lake in the backyard so his kids could ski boat,
Sick.
A man-made
wakeboard.
lake.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the backyard. That's the original plans. And then it was bought by some religious group that sounds like it might have been a shady deal, but just has a very weird history. That building. Look it up.
We will leave it at that. And that was Monday. You know me, after the range shoot on Monday, I got some touches in Monday night. Played a little singles with my guy, Avatar Bender is what he calls himself on.
The ball bender.
The ball bender. Yeah, ball bender, right? The ball bender.
Such a good kid.
Yeah, and talk about him. He just got drafted to the Texas Ranchers.
I think we covered that a little bit on the last pod.
That's crazy.
Cool.
He wasn't even drafted in Challengers, and then has had some
Which
good
is
results.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so tenacious and works hard. If you've seen him outside matches, it's like, whoa.
Duke has him working, feeding balls left and right. 2,000 balls a day, okay? 2,000. If not, okay, you're running on the freeway.
He is the most polite, kind
super
kid
nice
you'll ever meet.
Sure.
So
yeah, and
nice.
his doubles game has come a long ways too.
For sure.
So Monday got some touches in. Tuesday got some touches in as well. Also, since I was not a top 8 seed in mix, I ended up playing my first round with Paris on Tuesday. Long week. Played Tuesday all the way through Sunday. And Paris and I, won that first day. And then played 3 on Wednesday. Was 3-0 Wednesday. Played on Thursday. Was 3-0 on Thursday. Was 7-0 going into Friday. And ended up going 2-0 that day in men's doubles and men's singles. And then Paris and I ended up losing to J-Dub in Georgia, who's a damn good team that had no business losing that match to Johns and Waters. They're up 10-4. I think they had like 4 or 5 match points. I talked to Georgia the next morning and just gave her a little story about how she shouldn't feel too bad. Well, first I said, you guys played super great and you guys should have won that match. And it was kind of tough to watch there towards the end, if you know what I mean. But I was like, you should know that Annalee and I played Ben and Simone. This was like 2020. Meg was there and my mom was there. We're up 10-1 game 3, 10-1. I think we had, at least 9 or 10 match points and blew it and lost 10-12. Freaking took the heart out of me, I'll tell you what. And then they kicked us down to this is when if you lost
the opportunity bracket.
Yeah, but if you lost in a semi, you would play one match to make it into bronze. And after we lost that match to Ben and Simone, we ended up like playing 5 minutes later, and we're down like 0-9, and we both look at each other and we're like, okay, let's not go down like this. Climb back, won 15-9, played the bronze medal match, won the bronze match. But yeah, those are tough. Those will freaking take the heart out of you.
Yeah.
Character building at its finest, baby.
It's not over till it's over.
There's no,
not about how you start. It's about how you finish.
There's no clock out there, for sure.
They're not going to give it to you. That's what K-Mac says.
What's up?
They're not going to give you a championship.
They're not going to give you a championship.
Says.
Take it, okay? Own it, take it with some authority.
If you're not first, you're third.
Yeah, if you're not first, you're third. Okay, simple as that. If you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Let's see. Anyhow, so we ended up losing to Georgia and J-Dub on that Friday, and then going into Saturday had two semis, both in singles and in men's doubles. Championship court. I finally got to see you come Saturday, if you know what I mean, and freaking lost both semis. I mean, story of my life. Okay, make it to semis, and anyhow, played Federico in men's singles. He played super well. I thought I brought like a B- game, but if I'm going to beat the best in the world, it's got to be an A game. But there was countless times where I hit deep returns. I have Fed off his back foot, and the guy's hitting fadeaway thirds with pace, super spinny, and finding lines. Nothing I can do.
Highlight reel.
Fed's a stud. It was a total highlight reel. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up playing a little later on in the day. Played Dylan and J-Dub. Get us on the other side. I'm so sick of seeing those chumps in the semis. I'm just kidding. Those guys are playing at a super high level, and I think over the last year or so, I've just gotten a lot closer to Dylan and J-Dub, and they're good kids.
They're such
kids
good
are harmless.
kids.
Totally harmless. And J-Dub's starting to come into his own a bit more and bring a lot more personality. I think the fans love that, and players
wearing
love
some
that
chains
too.
there. He's
rocking some chains, rocking the shorts a little lower,
Yeah.
as he should. He's got great legs.
Yeah.
You know, but
he's not afraid to make a statement.
He's
you
not.
Know? With the cow pants, I think that hit the headline for
J-Dub,
everybody.
you do whatever your heart says.
Everybody
okay?
loves those. I've heard him say, fans ask, can you bringing those back? And he's like, maybe.
Bring them back, baby.
Love those pants.
Be a trendsetter.
Yeah.
You know?
And Tyson tucks his sweats into his socks. So do what you want.
Do what you want. Anyhow, ended up losing to those guys 4-9. We had a look in game 2. It was 9-all on a 2. Couldn't do anything there. We ended up losing 11-9. And then also too, big shout out to Chris. Chris was the PT on site. Chris was great. Worked on me pretty much after each match or at the start of the day or the end of the day. And one thing that I love about the progression draws and one thing I love about being at Lifetime facilities is that I had this perfect schedule all day where Wednesday through Thursday or Wednesday through Friday, I played 3 matches. And so I'd play singles first. So I'd warm up. I'd see the PT, get myself warmed up, play the match, eat after in the cafeteria, go downstairs, shower, go to the PT, get worked on, practice, play a match, eat again, shower, and then do it all over again. And it's just so nice having all the amenities like that.
Yeah.
Having the cafeteria, the food's good.
With healthy
food honestly,
option that you don't
Lifetime
mind eating
it.
right before you
a routine
play.
Yeah, it's just
That's
nice to
huge
have a routine as
for
an athlete.
athletes,
And actually know when I'm playing and just the schedule that's given to us on those progression tournaments. It's just easy to follow and the match is in front of you and you're not constantly just by your phone, checking your phone to see if you got a text to see what court you're on.
So nice.
But and the owner of Lifetime was there as well. Got to chit chat with him.
Brahm, he got to meet all the kiddos and good to see him again. And he just happened to be there. It wasn't his original plan, I don't think, but it was cool. Cool to see him and cool for him to see that tournament. I think it's the most gorgeous.
Nah, for sure.
Tournament.
That was knocking out of the park.
Right.
EPA did a great job of just keeping the flow, keeping the schedule. Yeah. No rain.
And the vendors love it because almost pretty much every vendor can actually watch pickleball as they're standing in their booth. Right. It's super cool. And I think too, they get more foot traffic, obviously, being right around center court. So
when you say no rain, you mean precipitation. No,
correct.
Because there was plenty of rain.
Right.
There was lots of rain.
Rain girls all over.
Rain guys too. Rain girls and guys. Right. No, they're always so sweet. They're always like, do you guys need anything? Do you need a rain? Does Tyson need a rain? Right. And they already have the orange ready. They already know. Sure. But then they complain sometimes because people everybody.
Where are the oranges?
Yeah, everybody wants the orange because they see us.
But yeah, I thought overall we had Hayworth winning men's singles. That's his first time winning a PPA event. Talk about a total ball striker. Just signed with Babolat. Great dude. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Scary talented. He's been an APP legend now for I don't know how long. Now he's playing a lot more PPAs. He's definitely one to look out for.
How difficult is that? You take down the number 1 seed and number 2 seed in the same tournament?
Beat Dylan, Ben, and then Fetty.
How often?
He strikes the ball well.
I wonder what
off both wings there. That's
Yeah,
I wonder what the stat is on
and
that.
his height, he's a little bit taller.
He's tough to pass, and he clubs the volley on both sides. Where like most of us take one hand off and like punch a volley, he's like using his two-y. And for like a big guy, it doesn't seem like he moves all that well, but he's plenty mobile. He's got a pretty quick first step and just hits the living life out of that.
Serves
ball.
big.
Yeah. Honestly, scary
cool
customer.
as a cucumber. Seems like.
Just stay off of my half, Chris.
Yep.
Okay, don't come anywhere near me. Practice only.
Keep taking out the other side.
Right.
Please.
And then men's doubles. Shout out to H Dog. Hayden's playing super well. He's made 2 finals in a row. One with Fed, one with Pobby, and. Give it up to Pablo, right? I mean, talk about a guy.
Gets dropped.
Freaking talk about a guy who's just been getting like beat up, like dropped by Fed, dropped by the Ranchers, got moved down to Challengers, and he showed up and he showed out. And
with a smile on his face.
Honestly, that's super cool. So
I don't think he'll be in Challenger for long. I think whatever
he's
the next.
way too talented
to
be in Challengers.
I'm just curious where he'll end up,
but Hayden's been playing well the last couple tournaments. He made a semis and mixed as well, playing with Viv Glosman. Viv hasn't had a lot of great results this year in mixed. Also, she took a ton of time off, but Hayden broke through with her. Ended up beating Rye and Leia in 3 in the quarters.
Barn burner.
Yep. And then Vivian and Hayden ended up losing to Christian. First tournament back, and he's obviously playing well. He had just had surgery, but it seemed like he was back and playing well. I know he didn't play singles, obviously, but he played men's with Connor. They ended up beating Hayden and Viv, and then Hayden and Viv dropped down, lost the bronze medal match to Georgia and J-Dub, and the mixed final was pretty short and sweet. Ben and AL ended up winning 0-7 and 7, but Annalie obviously still on a tear. Don't know how many triple crowns that is in a row or just total, but. Talk about a girl who isn't going anywhere anytime soon. She's playing at a super high level. It's crazy, too. Just taking a look at any ball she hits is so hybrid. Like whether it's a drop or she's dinking super aggressively or she's looking to speed up off the bounce. But it's like down your throat, in your face, no time to breathe. And on top of that, she's got a set of heavy, heavy hands. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
She can really get around the ball and go cross court.
Both sides.
Yeah. And in singles, it's such a pain because you'll have somebody on a string and then that cross court can bail you out on the run. And
ankle breaker.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
cross you up real quick. She ended up beating Catherine in the finals pretty handily, but it was cool to see Catherine back in the mix and back in the finals. She made three finals, ended up winning in women's, and then lost in mix and lost in singles. But seems like Annalie is probably a notch or two above most women out there. And then on that very last day, I ended up playing a couple bronze medal matches. Lost to Ben in 2. As always, what's new? Ben played well. I honestly didn't think he'd play the bronze and singles. I was like waiting on the court. He was like kind of 5 minutes late, and I guarantee like didn't even warm up. Came to the court. Shoes weren't tied up, and I got up like 7-1 game 1.
Yeah, I was like, come on, put him to bed here, buddy. Come on.
Story of my life.
One Ferrari forehand. That's all we're asking for.
My level goes to trash. He obviously raised his level and cleaned stuff up. Ended up losing 8-1, and then Declan and I came away with the bronze. Ended up beating Jack Monroe and Julian Arnold. Those guys broke through. Ended up beating Rye and Zane, and then they beat Fed and Matt in 2, I believe. Anything can happen. I swear, like the field's just getting deeper. Different teams are winning, or different teams are breaking through, or different players are breaking through. So it's good to see. I think the fans love it, and it just comes to show like the level of the sport. Yeah, it's getting deeper and it's more athletic, and also too, I think like the ball probably plays a part too. Like the ball's a lot softer.
Sure.
Kind of plays like a Franklin ball. To me, I personally feel like it stays a lot more round. It's a lot more durable, even though we still are using new balls every game. It's heavier. It seems like points are drawn out. Points are enhanced with like defense to offense, or just like that general transition. And if you can be scrappy with that ball and play some good defense, it definitely suits you. It definitely seems like it's more. This ball feels like I'm back in Naples in April, and it's freaking 85 degrees with 90% humidity, and we're playing with the Franklin ball, and my shoulder's toast after the day from trying to put the stupid ball away.
But would you say it feels just slightly heavier?
Yeah, it's heavier
than the Franklin.
Yeah, for sure. It's heavier than the Franklin. It's heavier than the first version of the Vulcan ball. But it's easier to shape it. It seems like with that first Vulcan ball, everybody was driving their thirds and then dropping their fifths, just because it was tough to really get the ball to go up and down as you're at the baseline trying to drop. So this one, it seems like, there's more dwell time on the paddle. It carries a bit more, but it's just generally it's a little easier to shape. So
and I didn't see one for tournament after tournament. I kept seeing pros like hit it up in the air and make sure it wasn't out of round, and it seemed like
bunch of ball snobs. I
didn't notice.
Country club ball snobs.
I didn't notice one person do that with this new ball. So, at least this tournament, maybe Sacramento. Did you?
I saw plenty.
Okay, never mind.
Once a ball snob, always a ball snob.
Just kidding. Okay.
I'm the same.
Not
way.
in your imagination. Stop.
I'm built bougie. Whether it's clothing, bags, or the ball that I play with. Okay.
Suck it up.
Is it play faster than the first iteration?
No,
of
it plays
Vulcan?
slower for sure.
Okay, so everything. Yeah. So
defense is enhanced.
So on like a scale of like Dura and Franklin, where is it? Is it closer to Franklin? Is it closer?
Yeah, it's closer to Franklin for sure.
No matter the conditions.
It's not past the Franklin.
I mean, we played with it twice now. We would play with it in Sacramento, and we played with it in San Clemente. It was hotter in hell in Sacramento.
But it was a dry heat.
It was a dry heat.
So we haven't seen the humidity.
No.
What was the
or
elevate?
indoor.
Don't
even get me started.
When the humidity comes, it's going to feel like U.S. Open.
Okay, like you were
April
saying.
in Naples, Florida.
Grinding.
And everybody's shoulders are just out of whack.
You better have a gas tank.
Right.
Start conditioning.
Play like fad.
Gas tank
let's
and
go.
a PT every night to work your shoulder out.
Some electrolytes. Right. Drink brain.
And then directly after our bronze medal match, I had plenty of juice left in me, sore as hell.
Finished at like 2.
And we went to Disneyland. You know why? Because I'm a good.
I'm
a good dad. You know,
I'm a good person.
I am. I had nothing left in the tank. Got back to the house, showered real quick. Smashed a couple Miller Lights.
Yeah.
And then we went on our way to Anaheim.
Well, you told the kids.
Tore it up.
That was a really fun moment.
We waited until the very last day, got all the kids together, had a little powwow.
Well, it was funny too because Sky, it got leaked to Sky in the car
Sky
ride.
figured it out.
Yeah, so somehow Sky figured it out.
Itching.
So we kept Sky.
Sky's like, Peter's going to Disneyland by himself. I'm
No. So
Peter's a Disney guy.
Peter's on a solo.
Peter's like the type of adult that just goes solo.
Disney adult. That's
I gotta get away from
Disney
these
adult.
McGuffins for once in a while. I gotta blow some
Peter's
steam
like, what
off.
can I do? Oh, Disneyland. I'll do that. Yeah, okay.
No, but Joe was dropping Sky off, and he said to me inadvertently, he's like, he said something about Disneyland to me right in front of Sky, and I'm like, kind of like give him the look, like, dude, and then he kind of dawns on him, like, oh, and the Skies are like,
this guy
Guy's
like, wait a minute,
this guy like goes in the house, and I'm like, don't say anything.
Well, we kept
usually,
him
if he
outside
tells
for a
Sky
while.
something, he's bound to tell the whole world.
And he's so funny.
The guy's honest.
He will promise you that he's been doing this since he was like 4 years old.
He doesn't keep promises.
He does not. He always
breaks
says,
them.
oh, hey, let me tell you the secret. He tells you
let me tell you a little secret.
So again, viewer tip, don't tell Sky your secrets unless you want everybody to know.
it will get leaked.
Yes, it will get leaked.
Just tell the people how Sky's brain works. Like when you tell Sky that we're going to Disney at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we tell him that we're leaving at 3 p.m. How many questions do you get about Disney?
You get a lot.
From that 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. span.
So Skylar is very schedule driven. This has been since he started school too. We used to have like a Velcro chart for him at school just because there's so many questions about the schedule. And so anytime he'd say, hey, when are we doing this? We would point him back to the Velcro schedule. Oh, see, look, we have to clean up, eat lunch, go to the bathroom, whatever, right? And then we're going to go to recess. Right. And so all day he'd ask, but they'd just point to the schedule. So we should actually storyboard again, but we don't have that for him right now. And so right now we just wait to tell him until the very last minute because he obsesses all day long about the time.
He just mentally wears himself out.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, you cannot tell Sky unless it's definite that you're going to do it.
And don't give him a time.
No. And don't,
Do not give him a
Don't
time.
change plans either, because that's very upsetting.
Doesn't like that.
So yeah, well, there's a lot of little.
But like when you mentioned
but-
Disney at 8 a.m., he's got like 100 different scenarios in his head about Disney, right?
No, for sure. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Temple Grandin, but it's about this woman who's autistic, and but she was like the first to be able to like she's given TED Talks and stuff about being autistic, so she's able to like explain to other people, and she's a scholar. She's won all sorts of awards. You should check her out for sure. But she explains that there's a movie essentially about her, and it shows a really good visual when they're talking about shoes, and then all of a sudden her brain, she sees every shoe she's ever seen in her life, and she's just flashing over and over and over, and that's all she can think about, right? She sees all these shoes, and so that to me has really helped me understand Sky a little more when there's something that it doesn't stop for him. So yeah, it does.
So we're the bad parents with the special needs kid, and if we do something fun, we have to wait till the very last second to do it. Right?
Yeah,
bad parents, right?
But terrible. But it goes far away with toddlers too. I think. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait it out.
Yeah. But they don't call it Disneyland. They call it Mickey's house.
Right. Yeah. Banks the whole time was so funny. She's like, "Why is this place so magical?" I'm like, "Because it's Disneyland, right? It's very magical, right? This is where the magic happens, girl." Like, why is it so magical? I'm like, "Sweetie, you got to stop asking me questions."
So 2 highlights of Disney. Are we talking about Disney?
Yeah, go ahead.
A little bit.
Well,
So
hold on. I like when you guys told them, and then she's like jumping up and down, and then she runs to the door like we're leaving right now, and then like trips and falls.
Yeah.
And it was like
Trips and
so
falls,
much
she starts
enthusiasm.
crying.
It was like
Train captured that. It's on the latest vlog.
on
You have to
vlog.
go check out Making McGuffins. Yeah, she just hit the deck. She was so
Hard.
excited.
Hard.
I think she got up and she's like, I'm okay. Yeah.
Get together. I'm a princess.
Yeah.
I got to deal with
Yeah,
this.
I think you told her, Princess, don't cry.
That's right. He did.
Yeah. Princess, don't suck their thumb. They don't drink bottles, and they definitely don't cry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, give us the whole breakdown.
No, I was just going to say some highlights.
It's hotter than hell.
It was super hot, but we went towards, we got there just in time to, watch the last parade at, 4:30.
And we've gone a couple times, and it seems like just based off of our previous history with going to Disney, it's better off going late in the day.
For sure.
Slows
If you want to
down.
stay for the fireworks, might as well start the day late.
Yeah, and
right?
it lights up at night,
Yeah.
and it's nice and magical at night.
For sure. We could have used a couple extra hours, I think, but it was fine. But we got there, watched the parade, and then we finally scheduled Banks the Princess.
Makeover.
Princess makeover.
Bibbidi boppity boutique.
So
It
we
was pretty
finally,
incredible.
scheduled Banks and so it's pretty cool. You go, you check in, then you pick a hair, makeup, nail package, and you pick a dress package, right? It was so funny too, because Ty misheard them. He thought for sure we were spending $800.
$800?
He was freaking
He's like, on
out.
what?
It's not $800. I don't think there was an $800.
Ty loves
option.
talking about money.
Yeah, he does. That's
Well,
funny.
to kids that age, money, that amount of money must seem just astronomical, right?
So
like,
much.
what?
As it
You
should.
have that much money?
Yeah. Well, so it was funny. So she checks in, gets her whole thing done. It'll be on the next episode. You guys get to check it out. But she got super done up. Tyson was all anxious to see her. It was pretty cute.
She was such a little princess.
She was she had the walk. It wasn't like a strut,
She was
but she had like a princess
taking
walk.
photos like this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It melted my heart. It did.
Flicking her hair.
And then little did we actually know. We did know this. You can take your son in there as well, and they'll dress him up as like a prince, give him a shield and a sword.
Yeah.
I
ready
didn't
for
think they'd
battle.
know what to do with the mullet.
Figure it out. You're the bibbity
He would have
boppity
been.
boutique.
I guarantee you would have been the only prince with a mullet. That would have been kind of great. So maybe we should try that next time.
Next
I just
year.
don't know if he can sit still that long.
Right, for sure.
But yeah, so that was a highlight. The other highlight was this is the first time we took Mac on rides, and he is the world's largest
He had to be
2-year-old.
40 inches.
Yeah, he's like 41 inches, and so he ended up being able to go on a lot of the roller coasters. But it was so funny. There was ride Ty and Nika were screaming at the top of their lungs, so scared. And Mac is sitting next to you laughing the whole time.
Is this the one with the train?
Yeah.
What was that called? I didn't
Big
go on
Mountain.
Yeah, Big. So we did
Big
Big
Mountain
Mountain. We
something?
did Space Mountain, and then we took Mac on the Star Wars little ride.
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, where we captained the ship.
There's 6 people, and the front 2 were pilots. The second 2 were gunners.
Mac was an
Ty and
engineer.
Nika
Bad
were,
idea.
were pilots. Joey and I were gunners, and then Meg and Mac were the
Engineers.
engineers.
Engineers, hit those buttons.
It was so funny. Yeah, Mac couldn't reach the buttons, right? So he's just like slapping the wall.
Clicking the switches, and so poor Joey had to be the
Gunning.
gunner and the
Multi.
engineer. He had to do both
Multifaceted.
jobs. Yeah, he he was a little overwhelmed. But
Mac is fearless. The guy is just built like a pit bull.
Yeah, well, it's funny. So we went on like It's a Small World, and we went on Finding Nemo, and the entire time, the entire time, Mac's like, I want to go faster. I want to go, and then every roller coaster we got off of, he was crying as we were getting off, not crying because he didn't like it, crying because he wanted to go again. So
it threw me off. I was like, oh, he's not having a good time. He was like, no, he wanted to run it back.
Get me on a roller coaster.
Yeah, so he easily could have done more rides, but it was kind of a bummer. He didn't go on the Matterhorn because he was an inch too short.
Right.
But Banks went. And we felt like
I did not think she was going to have a good time.
Yeah, and she did, except for
she wasn't in tears.
Monkey.
I thought she saw this Sasquatch and he had red eyes.
The Yeti.
She saw this Yeti and he was like screaming. It looked super scary.
It did. It scared me.
And afterwards, she kept asking. She was like, "Why is his eyes red?" Or like, "Why do you do this or do that?" And like for an hour, just kept asking me questions about
the monkey. She thought it was a monkey.
Right.
She kept
saying
the scary monkey.
His eyes are red because he has a nap today.
Yeah, and he's coughing. That was the roar, just clearing his throat. Right. And so he's just stuck up there until his shift gets done.
And she was like, "So why is he at Disney? Like if he looks so scary?" And I'm like, "Baby, he's super nice. He sleeps in his cave."
You're like, don't worry. If he has to be nice to work at Disney.
Yeah, if he's gonna work at Disney, he's bound to be nice. You know,
they won't let you in.
Yeah, you're right.
They won't
I guarantee she probably had some nightmares that night.
No, there was a ton of reassurance. Even back, we were eating pizza at the house afterwards before bed, she still was asking questions. So. But I think the monkey talk went away, so she's good to go.
But yeah, good day. Parade. The kids had a good time. Banks was all dolled up. Matt got to go on roller coasters. All the older kids were taken care of as well.
Yeah, Ty got lots of big kid rides this time. I think we did mostly big kid rides, so that was great. And Sky had fun. Sky hung out, ate his turkey leg. Right. Got the big.
Yeah, you got a big old turkey leg.
Can someone send me a photo of the turkey? I want to see the turkey. That leg is massive.
Oh, yeah. They're on TRT, these turkeys. Right. These Disney turkeys aren't
Something.
like
Disney turkeys are different.
Is it really a turkey leg?
It's a dinosaur leg or something.
And let's see. So came home that night, late day. Banks didn't go to bed till like midnight. Put Mackie down.
That was a long day.
It was a long day for sure. I was toast.
Then we had to get up. We left at like just before 7 a.m. You and I headed to Manhattan Beach to Skechers. We were going to bring the crew, but it was just way too early. So
did a full content day with the Skechers.
Went to the offices.
Went to the office and talked to the shoe team, talked to the apparel team, and lots of fun, super exciting stuff coming. So can't say much. But, but all those questions that are being asked on socials, don't worry, it's all going to get answered here very soon.
Yeah, it's all just
my hands are handcuffed right now.
It's very exciting, yeah. And there's new shoe colors coming out eventually too. So
sure.
All kinds of fun stuff, but always great to see the Skechers team. They're like family. They're all super sweet. Missed Christy this trip. She wasn't there. But cool. They just expanded their roster. Like they've got NBA players. They've got soccer players, right. You know,
they're making.
They
like
have
a
baseball
shoe,
players now.
Shoe.
I mean,
they're in golf and run and
yeah.
One of the questions that they asked me during my content day is like, why the Skechers shoe? And I think first and foremost, they did a ton of research about court shoes and stuff like that, and obviously used my insight. And I've been competing now in racket sports for a long time, and so we made a shoe that was super lightweight, but also durable, lightweight, breathable, and looked the part as well. So I think they have 3 or 4 different shoes out there, all kind of different price points.
And all different, accomplish something different for pickleball, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like your shoe is technically like a speed
shoe. Yeah.
Right,
and so the speed shoe, I think, runs for like $115. That's called the ViperCore Pro. They just came out with the Elite. The Elite's $140. The ViperCore Pro, I think, is like 12 ounces. The Elite's more like 14 ounces. I would play in the Elite, but I personally like the aesthetics of the ViperCore Pro. But the Elite, I think it suits everybody. But also, if you're an older player, and I think it has a wider toe box, it's a bit more sturdy, it's a lot more durable. Mm-hmm. If you feel like the ViperCore Pro is too light for you, or like your foot's getting banged up, or you can feel your foot pounding on the ground, I would definitely go with something heavier like the Elite.
Yeah, and I think the Elite has some rubber printed on the sides of it, so it might be slightly more durable. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more durable. Heavier, and it just seems like the mesh is a little tougher as well. and it doesn't bleed as much as like some of the white Viper Court Pros.
But if you're like most Viper Court wearers that I see or like messages we get, you've got so many pairs that you're just rotating them, so it doesn't really
Gotta
matter
get all the
anyways,
colors.
right?
Yeah, and don't know if I can mention much about this, but there's a new color. I think they're doing one other color this year, correct? In the fall.
Yeah.
It's one of the colors that I've been wanting to come out for a long time, and it's nice and flashy.
Yeah.
Nice and loud.
No, for sure. At least I think one more for the men's, and I'm pretty certain that it would be for the women's. But speaking of that too, like I've gotten some of the men's. I don't notice. I know there's a difference between women's and men's, but I haven't noticed a big difference. I'll rock the men's, and
You got manly feet.
yeah, maybe that's what it is. But I'll just go obviously smaller men's size, and so I wear all the same colors. I love it.
And I think like the main selling point with Skechers is their arch fit technology. It's super comfortable, and there's like
and the Goodyear rubber collab. That was a big
Goodyear
thing
rubber.
too.
Yeah. But
You can't say what color?
I can't say what color.
Okay,
But they use the arch fit technology in most of their shoes, and it's light, comfortable, easy on your foot.
No break-in period. That's what I hear from
For
most
sure.
people that
Right.
buy
It's
it.
not
They're
overly
like,
stiff.
I got
like,
to play right out of the box. Yeah.
To break in. So it is nice using a brand new shoe, or during tournament days, I can use a brand new pair of VCPs, and it feels like I've been wearing them for like a week or so.
VCPs.
VCPs.
Yeah, VCPs.
You came up to me. You're like, how many VCPs you got? I was like, what are you talking about?
Right,
You're like, come on, man.
right.
If you
Get
look
the
in our
lingo.
closet, we have like
We've got
buckets
quite
of
a few.
VCPs. We've got orange VCPs, blue.
Steel blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Kinkies.
been back this last week. Got some good training in. Been up at Gazer last couple of days, getting some teaching in as well. 4th of July. Let's see. 4th of July. I was up at Gazer for a couple hours, and then we went and played 18 holes. That was my first time playing 18. Not gonna lie, it's a freaking
Circling,
long day. 9 holes takes me about 2 hours. 18, it could be 4 to 5 hours.
I think it took us like 3 hours to do the 9.
Yeah,
too,
right.
so.
Well, we had
Yeah,
my
that's
brothers there
bad.
that are
It was a
playing
good time.
zigzag
Yeah.
golf, shooting balls everywhere.
That's
So-
not a course
Or-
that you want to play on if you're a novice golfer. That's for sure. They actually hold women's, what would that, LPGA events?
At Circling Raven.
At Circling Raven.
Yeah, beautiful course. They're at the CDA Casino on the other side of the lake, on the opposite side of Gazer. So when I left Gazer, it took me like an hour 15 to get there. It's a pain in the ass.
Very opposite side. If you had a boat, it would have been faster.
Sure. Played 18. Had both my brothers out there. Train was out there filming. Had my son Ty. Ty didn't have a good golf day, so
But Ty's good.
Ty is good. He's
Ty's
good.
hard on himself.
He came back.
Ty's just like his dad. He's a total-
demanding perfection
I
out of
know.
himself.
demanding perfectionist.
He
is.
came back and he said something about, what did he say? He said something about his game was disgustingly bad. That's how he described it.
Anytime Ty's playing bad, I mean, to like figure my game out as I'm being a therapist to Ty and like trying to like.
You don't get too pissed at yourself because you're worried about him now,
There's
right?
a lot going on out there. If I'm playing half-ass and Ty's playing bad, it's a tough day. Not gonna lie.
Hey, when I go, it's great because I balance it out. Because
Right.
even if Ty's having a bad day, I'm probably having a worse one. So he.
And Ty's laughing the whole time.
One thing
along.
I'm like, hey, just don't laugh at me off the tee box, okay? Let's just,
Right.
you know.
One thing that I love about golf though
It's
is
not
that
great.
like everybody that I've played with, aside from Travis, is so complimentary and like super positive. Just because like the game's so complex, and so like, if you
Yeah.
hit a good shot, like the people around you are just getting pumped up, or like they're hyping you up. It was kind of funny yesterday. Troy, my brother, who lives here in Coeur d'Alene, was like in the bunker. It was like on hole 6, and I was already like 7 Miller Lights in, and he like hit one out of the bunker like 30 yards away from the pin, and we were all on the green watching, and he hits the ball so hard, like hits it through me. I ended up catching it. And
Oh,
then,
that's
like,
right.
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah,
what you were doing.
right.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Kung fu or
Totally
something.
just
You're
like,
like, we're
hit
done.
the living life out of it 30 yards away. I caught it and then like threw it back near the pin.
Oh my gosh.
But anyhow, yeah, beautiful day. Played 18, came home, family came over. It was
He
our
told me
first-
to order pizzas. I was
I
like,
told her
no,
to
we're
order
already
pizzas.
cooking.
It was our first time using the barbecue. Mama made some great burgers and did a great
I need to
job.
perfect it. Someone
And
send me a
looked
recipe.
lovely as she was doing
I
it.
don't cook generally, so
Right.
yeah.
Anytime she cooks, she's so stressed out. I'm like, nothing to stress out about.
I
here.
can bake like no tomorrow. You give me the recipe, you follow it exactly. You know what I mean?
Baking's
It's
like
all
an
about
exact
following-
science.
It's a
following the
science.
recipe.
Yeah,
Yes.
cooking, you
Miss-
can
Miss
kind
Black
of
and
get
white
like
over there.
crazy.
were my strong suits, not
You and K-Mac are built a lot of like. Anytime K-Mac teaches, like he has to have a lesson plan and it's all planned out. I just wing it.
My most creative thing
Cooking,
growing up was
playing,
singing.
teaching. I will
But
find a way.
Even singing, there's like an exact
Without any
roadmap
prep
to
work.
that. So like I didn't, yeah, no.
I was the same way in school too.
Just that's why we balance each other out.
Right,
Two
right,
extremes of the spectrum. Rule follower. And rule
It was our
breaker.
first time last night, having a little dinner on our back patio. Got the barbecue going. Had a little bonfire. Kids had some s'mores. Tore it up.
The kids were so excited about the s'mores. They're so funny too. Ty just wants to cook marshmallows, right? So I told him he could have 2 s'mores, and I'm like, yeah, buddy, it's pretty late. You probably don't want to have another one because you're so okay. And so he's asking everybody like, train.
Yeah,
you want a s'more? Can I make you one?
you.
And then he's like, can I make you one? I'm like, you can make everybody. You
Do
just
it,
can't eat
Ty.
another one. And then poor Bangs at the end of the night. I'm like, it's time to go to bed. Her eyes are like this big, and she's like,
zinging.
Mommy, can I have another? Can I have a marshmallow?
she
I'm
was
like,
on.
how many
She
did
was
you
on.
have?
How many
And
rains have you had?
Ty's like, she's had like 3. I'm like, what do you mean she's had 3?
Right, no
like,
more.
so yeah, she was all sorts of excited on those marshmallows.
We today is Friday. We take off Sunday for Grand. Sorry, spitting everywhere for Grand Rapids. Got the mid-season MLP tournament going on. Bracket for premier teams, bracket for challenger teams. First time that they're doing this year, I would say. But
When everybody's together.
yeah,
Under one
kind of
roof.
fun. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of seeds. The bracket is out. The seeding is obviously based off like the first 2 MLP events, and so I think we have the sliders first if we win that, or I should say after we win that.
You have the shop.
We play the shock, and then shock's going down.
going
I think the shock's
down.
coming in as like the 1 seed, so gotta
Are
knock
they?
out the 1 seed. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
pretty sure they are.
Okay. Well, I know that I'm pretty sure.
What are you pretty sure of over there?
I'm pretty sure the Hustlers took over the overall number 1
The Hustlers
position.
are like the 2 or 3 seed.
Okay.
Yep.
But in the standings, are they number 1?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought they went from last to
Cut that
first.
part. All good.
You can leave it in. It's all right.
Go ahead.
No. Is it time for
Hot mic with Pete.
Dude,
Hot
here we
Mic
go.
with Pete?
I gotta give this user on YouTube this comment is hilarious. I was telling you guys earlier. User IRenZON123 with his Pete's Quick Bites.
Pete's quick.
These are
ponderings.
name suggestions.
Potential, yeah. He
Ponderings.
chimed in. Yeah, Pete's Ponderings. That's
I like
pretty
that
funny.
one.
Pete's Newsflash, Trains News Stop. That was pretty good. Trains Pickleball Snapshot.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, choo choo. Yeah, we need
Choo
Grayson. We
choo.
need a little. We need. A little,
Right.
little something there. little crazy train intro, and then
Train
trains.
alert.
Train alert. Trains Pickleball Pulse. So which we'll figure one of these out. We can go with the
Pickle Pulse. I
Pickle
think that could
Pulse,
be even a different
Petey's
segment.
Pickle Pulse.
PP.
PP.
Let me see your-
PP.
Did I ever tell you the
Let
story?
me, yes, you
One
told it
quick-
multiple times. I don't want to hear it again.
One quick
I love you,
sidetrack
but no.
moment. Stop.
I'm cutting you off.
Has Pete heard it? Peter, have you heard the
Right.
story?
It's this couple,
I haven't.
This is a couple from Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to do with anything downstairs.
I played. It was a blind date pickleball tournament in Vegas, and I showed up.
And he kept hitting on my wife
Yeah,
the whole time. I said,
stop.
"Don't even
No, he
look
did
at
not.
it, or else."
So
I'm gonna drop the people's elbow on you.
we're playing, and the family is screaming on the sideline, "Show me your pee-pee!" And I'm like,
Ew.
"What?
Show me your what?
What?" And they said, "You're perfect pickleball." It was it.
Ha, ha, ha.
Keep it PG rated, okay?
All right, next.
We got J Dub and Dilly just
New number 1.
new number. Yeah, Dylan, new number 1.
Dylan took over the number 1.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And they're clearly, it seems like the
It should be
number 1
combined.
team overall. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't always play with the same.
Yes, they do.
Oh well, they do, but
Those two
hasn't
do.
Dylan? There's been tournaments Dylan's played with someone else.
Maybe last year. Yeah.
Okay, well,
But point being,
all those points count.
they're wearing the crown right now. K-Mac and I were talking. We were like, does Ben go with a new partner? I don't think he does. I think maybe he tries to evolve their game a little bit,
right.
you know, try and add some new wrinkles.
Right.
you
And I
know?
think that's what I like about Ben. I've heard this countless times. I think in order for them to break up, I think it has to come from Colin. Ben's too loyal, he's too family driven to like do it himself. So I think Colin would have to.
Colin would fall on the sword
Colin
and be
would
like,
have to
"Hey,
go to
listen,
Ben and
man."
say, "Hey, if you want to play with somebody that's playing at a higher level, you can gladly do that." But I think it's up to Colin over Ben.
Interesting.
I could be wrong, but
I would think too, though, just the convenience of the way they train, the way they're very involved in the strategy and all of that stuff. I mean, that's tough to. I could see if Ben. I feel like if Ben were to change partners, I would almost see him going back with like Matt or somebody that he had history with. So to kind of rather than like reinvent the wheel with someone new, especially since he's still very much there. I think this little lull is not anything to light the house on fire for. But
light the house on fire.
K-Max thought who would be Ben's first option, and he actually said, the guy you just finished playing with, which that'd be
Deckel. No, he could.
That'd be two big boys right there. Yeah,
scary team.
Yeah, for sure.
And Deckel in MLP obviously is playing the right with James. I think that's the beauty of that team as well. They can both kind of play both sides, but it seems like Deckel's primarily playing the right, and yeah, I mean, big serve, thumps the drive, heavy hands, dinks well on the right, likes his little forehand speed up down the line. But yeah, I think he's a tough customer. That'd be a scary team. But does it's tough
you think
because
they'd play more aggressive.
Deckel's so big. I think Deckel needs. Now he's not going to play like a big right side role, but he's going to play a much bigger role than like a James Ignatowicz and Ben or a Colin and Ben. So I just wonder if Ben could deal with that.
Right, both at the kitchen. You would also think there'd be a lot more fast chaos, or at least like shake and bake going on instead of like, well, let's just get up there and work them down.
Finish points a little quicker. Find some different ways to get some cheapies.
Big serve, big forehand.
Yeah. Even though that's not really Ben's style, I think just where the game is going. Take a look at Hayden. Like Hayden in men's and in mix is kind of playing the same way, like driving a bunch of thirds, and he's poaching off his own third. And it seems like with this ball too, it doesn't sail; it gets down, like I was mentioning earlier. So just like the ability to drop and crash or to drive and crash, you can get more dip, which forces like the volleyer or forces like their opponent to have to hit up a little bit. So it just seems like there's more room to be more aggressive in that poaching role, just because there's more shape on the ball.
Yeah.
Can't just dink away, boys.
You can't just dink away. Okay?
No, sometimes you got to strike. You can't just be the boa constrictor. You got to pull the
foundation is having everything. Yeah. And yes, dinking still plays a part. Go often. But sometimes chaos can go a long ways. It can.
For sure.
Especially beating some of the good teams that are like very good from the kitchen line. And a little tip there for the viewers: if you're playing a team that is, you recognize they're like a notch above you from the kitchen line as far as dinking, don't try to out-dink them if you're losing the same way. If you only have a plan A and there's no plan B, or if you're playing a good team that like dinks really well and like you can't out-dink them, if you can't create some chaos or find some different ways to like speed up or find some offense, it's going to be a tough day. So,
Senior pro speed up. Throw that
Senior
in there.
pro speed up. We all know what that is. Lob them until they fall. Okay.
Lobs or slobs.
Right.
Take them both.
Slob it up. The old sloppy lob.
Sloppy lob.
Meg special.
Let's call it slob. It works just the same.
This is Dylan and J-Dub's 10th career title together. 5th this year. This is the first time that Ben has gone a stretch of 5 tournaments without winning a men's doubles title. Big H, Bystock and Big H, back-to-back finals with different partners. That's really cool. He's so nimble. He's fun to watch. Got a lot of swagger.
For a small guy, he plays a huge left side roll, and he's got heavy hands, drops. It seems like I've mentioned this on the pod countless times, but that younger generation right now, like if you take a look at Frederico or Colin or myself, some of the other players, like there's a lot of guiding and steering on drops. We take a look at like Annalie or Tardio or Hayden, like there's no guiding and steering drops. Like it's super aggressive. It's very hybrid. It's kind of like
it's dipping in there.
It's dipping in there.
Feet.
Yeah. I heard this phrase. I call it a hybrid. It could also be called a drip. It's like a half drive, half drop, right? Drip that thing in and freaking crash. And for the viewers out there, something you should know is that if you're hitting that drip and you see that your opponent is chasing trash or overextended as they're taking a fourth, get your ass up and close, because 9 times out of 10 that ball gets popped up and there's room to be aggressive there. So overextended, sign on their forehead that says they're chasing trash. The ball probably would get popped up. So get in there, use your first step and close away. Capitalize.
Yeah, and then the footsteps itself you'll get some errors out of that.
Right? They'll start looking at things you don't have control of.
I was just going to say that.
Looking at their opponent closing in.
That's awesome.
Waters 27th career Triple Crown, 7th this year.
Say less. Girl's good, scary good.
She's not going anywhere.
It's a constant problem, that young lady, man.
It's funny how, like, talking to some of the women, it's almost like you're just playing for, like, silver is first place.
They have accepted it,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not? Or you just be.
I've been losing a bend now for years, and I've fully accepted it. It's all good. It doesn't sting the way that it used to. And I'll tell you what, life is easier that way. It is.
Do you think that
versus verbally just beating myself up? Okay, I've gone down that dark
crying
road
after matches,
crying, throwing stuff in the car, and my kids are in the back seat saying, "Daddy, what's wrong? Don't worry about it." Okay. No, it's I feel like the last couple months I've definitely softened up and just I'm taking losses better and I'm like tough on myself and I'm trying to like be a perfectionist, but like with balance, it's so much easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you have to keep playing, right?
Well,
you got another one, we got another one.
No,
like
exactly.
you can't have a pity party.
Well,
like,
you gotta
I got kids to feed.
I
man.
got kids to feed. And
when it's the half the weeks of your year,
knocking at the door, and
if you let everyone affect you, trust me, we've been there. It's a very rough road.
No, for sure.
But we've, you found a new stride, and
it seems like too. There's so many players that have like really been humbled like this last year. I don't know if it's the money, or just like the sport's getting better, but it seems like there's less ego, there's less status. I don't know. It's cool to see.
No,
it seems like there's less confrontation, like in the pro lounge. It's a lot softer. It's a lot more lax. The players are like hanging out a lot more and like super encouraging. And I don't know.
Everybody.
And I mean, I don't know.
Coworkers.
Taking a look at the Roger Federer documentary on Prime Video. I mean, freaking, I was crying towards the end there. But just like the level of like respect that he got from all the players like in the locker room, or Djokovic and Nadal, like Rafa was like crying, you know, like in press conferences talking about Fed leaving and yeah, I don't know. It's just it's cool to see, you know?
Yeah,
and it just seems like in pickle, there's more respect with players and like their craft and their work and how much time they like it, you know, have like invested. And so that's how it should be.
Watching tennis today, was watching Big Foe play
Alcaraz. Alcaraz won in 5.
Alcaraz got it.
Francis has kind of had a tougher year. He's still playing well. He's just, you know, I think he was top 10 or top 15 last year. And I think he's like
he had a couple like sitters that you could tell just like deflated.
Don't be missing sitters.
But the end of it, at the end, like with them like embracing at the net, you know, Foe was talking to him and like same thing, right? Like you just see like how much respect. I mean, you just lost, like you know, you just lost a potential. Windy
center court. Yeah, it's tough.
But cool watching him walk out and like the whole crowd erupting as he was saying bye and walking out. I was like, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and they said, fun fact, last time an American beat a European in that tournament was
Andy Roddick.
Sam Queer.
Oh, Sam SQ.
Oh, taking down Djokovic.
Sorry.
What,
SQ was hanging out there in San Clemente.
Yeah,
I think
was.
I saw one like Saturday.
Yeah, he had
being a
he posted
character
a
as he always
photo
is.
with a trophy and said, "I finally got my hands on a PPA."
Yeah, that was
pretty clever.
He's clever.
He did
the man is witty.
Did you see he posted? I think it was today or yesterday. He mimicked Jeannie Bouchard's little photo shoot. So if you ever wanted, no, photo shoot. She is in a bikini and she's got like water. She's spraying water on herself.
Dang, girl.
And there's like a series of photos. Yeah. And
show it, Sam.
So Sam recreated.
Give the people what they want to see. That X-rated SQ material.
Just take a look. And Jeannie's so good.
That fires me
if there's
up.
one person that has like, I mean, I don't know her personally, but she seems like she's got like the best sense of humor. But because she was like, I love this. Like Sam's my favorite person. So awesome. I thought it was pretty funny. Awesome. So got to check it out. His page never lets you down.
Right.
Sam's
just a walking meme.
He owns it. He loves it.
Oh, I got a question for you. How many PPA mixed finals has the Tweener King been in? Off the top of your head.
Mixed finals.
Mixed finals.
Yeah, I think maybe this is the first one.
Ooh, God, McGuffin, you're good, man. Yeah, it's just, and it's kind of funny to think about because I think of him as definitely one of the top tier. Mix guy, at least this year.
His men's and mix has really come on the last year and a half, and I don't think he's been playing with he's been playing with good mixed partners, just not like a Catherine, right?
But I wonder what the stat is for women in mixed finals because it's got to be the same, pretty much the same handful, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how many mixed finals Catherine's made this year.
Well, that's what I mean.
How many? How many?
0?
One.
Right.
Right.
But
I know. There was plenty
of
stuff going on social media, like trying to badger Jack about how,
Don't worry,
Catherine
Jack will figure it out.
Her first mixed final.
Well, Jack's figuring it out in MLP
Jack's
somehow.
playing well.
So.
No, Jack and Catherine are bound to make some finals.
I bet he comes back. Yeah,
for sure. And Jack showed at the last MLP event that the guy is more than there.
I just love that in the interview he literally said, "I was the least valuable player in that first match, and I'm gonna do better starting the next match." And then he just cleaned house.
Keep yourself accountable, baby. Yeah. Bank on yourself. Bet on yourself, right? You find the best version. That's for sure.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, moments like that, he can do make you or break you, and there's been certain times where I've been dropped by certain partners. I had to go back to the drawing board, and it only made me tougher, So.
No, for sure. And you find a way, right?
Find a way, for sure. I think with a little difficulty in life, it can either make you tougher or it can make you just crawl into a hole. Yep. And
it's easier.
I've done both. I've done both, but usually I come out.
Well, we've talked about this a few times recently, not to be a broken record, but I just think that when you don't have a choice and there's not a plethora of options in front of you, you find a way. Like it's easier to make something happen when you don't have an option.
Burn the boats.
No, you don't have an option to fail, right? You don't let yourself this is my one chance or this is my, and I know that
why not me?
There's different ideas on that, but to me, in my life anyways, there's been some crucial moments that push me in certain directions and
buck up and be tough.
And since I didn't have an option, I just found a way.
I'll deliver that water myself.
Exactly. Exactly. Do what you have to.
Yeah, one thing K-Mac and I were shooting the shit about was what's a better cross training for pickleball, ping pong or tennis? What are your thoughts there, Magoo?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. I don't think it's one or the other. Take a look at Ben. I think Ben was a 5'0", 4'5" tennis player, stud ping pong player. But I think some of the hand speed that you get from ping pong and just the general distance, how it's closer. I think and really understanding how to use the roll on both sides definitely helps with the roll volley and the hand speed. Where tennis, I think some of the ground strokes and some of the technique and the little drop shot volley in tennis is kind of similar to hitting a drop in pickle. Some of the movement stuff, getting good with or getting comfortable or getting efficient with moving laterally is similar to pickle. I think it's across the both.
Yeah, I think singles definitely you want to be playing tennis, but then I think the up at the kitchen, like you just said, I think the ping pong.
Similar to ping pong.
I think I think it'll definitely help you figure that out.
Right.
And just because they're both plastic balls and I don't know, I think they're kind of more related in that sense, but both of them help. Do all three.
I think, and honestly too, anytime that I've had boxers in my camps, they freaking love violence and they're not afraid of the ball, obviously.
Craggy.
And they lean in well. And I think, honestly, some of the better hands that I've seen is not MMA guys, but boxers that have done a bunch of mitt work. Speed drills. They don't move from the kitchen line. They have heavy hands. They trust the back end and they like violence.
Lean into
What do you guys think about training with I think it was in one of our vlogs. You guys had one of those little training balls, and you were hitting it with a pickleball paddle.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you don't. I feel like you don't implement that regularly, but I mean, does that have a benefit?
We were outside in the backyard with
the little tiny, the little tiny.
I think it was
ball.
just good for general hand eye. I don't know if that specifically is going to make your pickle
similar
game,
to smaller paddles, little training paddles.
But do you think does it make your? Is it obviously just to make yours feel the ball to seem larger?
It makes you apply your eyes a lot more and really look and
So then when you are playing with
the
an
ball
actual
seems like the size of a watermelon.
Right.
And any day you can play where you're seeing the ball the size of a watermelon. Usually it's a damn good day.
For sure.
TOC last year. The ball just kept getting bigger. Right?
Good days.
Nice and juicy.
All right, and that's we're leaving. We're leaving the station. That's just
leaving
ponderings
the
right
station.
there. I'll leave you with that.
Any thoughts on the sticker gate with Iggy? No comment. Jilly B showed how difficult it is to cleanly remove a PPL sticker from her paddle.
They changed the rule. Which rightfully so. So he obviously got defaulted faulted, whatever you want to call it, for his sticker falling into the kitchen. Because generally, if something on your person falls into the kitchen,
cold brew on his paddle,
you lose the whatever. But that's not his fault. It's like, how do
that is his fault, Meg.
He doesn't apply the sticker. Right? He doesn't reinforce the sticker. You're not supposed to touch the sticker after it's put on there.
Like when he was hitting an overhead. And
right.
Did it land in the kitchen?
It did. So then they took the point away, or it was side out or something.
Listen, if he's the one who gets faulted for the issue, it's his responsibility. So he's gonna have to take extreme ownership.
They've revised their stance on this, and I heard Don Stanley say, if your sticker falls off, it's a replay. So no worry about the stickers anymore.
Whatever Don says is gospel.
It's true.
Donnie.
True when it comes to this.
Donnie. I'm gonna check memes of pickleball real quick and see what's good on.
What's trending?
So do you guys have any comments on the Johns and how much they love that new Vulcan ball?
Oh yeah. You were talking about no one will do it like
like I mentioned
they were
earlier.
yapping about how much they hate it.
Okay. But were they hitting it in round like that, or just frustrated in general? I knew that.
Oh, he definitely hit one and frustrated. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some hot mic stuff on that, correct? On center court, like really getting vocal about the ball and the frustration there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. They're just blatantly saying how much they hate it. I think in Atlanta, Colin called it like you can grab any piece of trash out of there, and we can play with that.
Oh no!
Right. Dun, dun, dun. And then CJ was kind of up to his usual spiel in the match against Pablo and Hayden. They'd like hit a couple let courts and then finally he hit a let cord and
prayed to the heavens.
I was talking to Hayden in the pro lounge and he's like, I was not a fan of that.
He's never been a fan of. We all know how CJ feels about let courts.
Let courts. It's part of the game, but it'll even out. Play long enough, they go 50-50.
PSA. Oh.
No, go ahead. What were you saying?
No. I was just going to say, like, PSA, or just not PSA, but when you and Deco were playing Jack Monroe and Julian, there was totally, there was totally a net cord, and then Deckel's quick reaction and putting it away, and I cheered, and I probably should not have cheered for that.
They cheer for everything.
But I know, my bad. But I definitely, in that moment,
rowdy crew.
When Deckel...
Mac on the sideline cheering for let take.
Yeah, Mac. It's Mac's fault. Right. No, but just, I think, too, it's funny. It's based on, too, how the your partner is doing, or like Deckel seemed like he was getting a little tight, so like just that like quick reaction, and like it's like hard not to celebrate that, you know, and then rein it back in, and then you're like, but you can't. What do you say? Like, great point. Like, you're trying to like communicate, but obviously it made Julian a little upset. And Julian, I'm sorry, that is not how I intended that cheer, but I will.
Pickleball's not tennis, all right? Not everybody does the kind of tennis etiquette. Okay,
yeah, it's true. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Apparently, I don't know. There's speculation that like in our match against James and Tyler, there was a bad line call. It was tricky. Like Tyler had somewhat of like an overhead. It was at like what 11.
It was in the business end of things. Yeah.
It was a sitter, and I didn't see it. Deckel calls it out. Deckel
stuck to his guns,
call,
man.
right.
Yeah.
And then there was some players on the sideline that also said it was out.
Pretty sure there was a video.
The whole
too.
Vulcan and Utah crowd definitely was not very happy.
The Utah crowd thought it was in.
Yeah, it was
they were a little biased.
Very rowdy crowd. I'm not gonna lie. That match was very tense. But Jimmy, loved the guy. He's playing well. But he had a duck on match point. He had a backhand roll at I think we're down 12-11 or something like that. And was like half committed with the backhand roll. It ended up he was like 80% there to hitting it, and then last second tried to dink, missed it halfway up the net. Declan and I side out, got some life back, and ended up closing it out.
Finding ways.
Barn burner.
Oh, yeah. Palms are sweaty.
Finding ways.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
Got it done.
I think that's it for us here. Viewers out there, if you guys want to leave your questions in the comment section, please do it. We will answer questions next episode. We'll be filming after Grand Rapids, so not this next week. Tournament starts, I think, Thursday, goes through the following Sunday. So we'll be filming, I don't know, Monday through Wednesday of the next week. Appreciate you guys. Leave your questions, like, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and there should be a vlog coming out Tuesday, correct?
Yep, vlog coming out
Check
Tuesday.
Making McGuffins on YouTube. Check it on PBTV.
Monday, Making McGuffin Mondays on PBTV airs 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check that out.
Every Monday. Get your ass over to PBTV and
on
watch
replay.
it.
And please, just like you're giving us questions for the pod, if there's things that you want to know or things that you'd like to see on the vlog, maybe we can let you in. So for honest. Sure, send us comments and
make sure they're PG rated.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, if you want to send like tips or questions that you don't want to leave as comments, send them personally to Train.
Send them here.
Just send the
DMs are
DM
open.
Right,
to
DMs are open.
Train.
Come on in.
He'll take those comments.
All right,
too.
thank you guys, and we'll see you next episode.